Greetings, NASCAR enjoyers, and welcome to the last O'Reilly Series race before the summer break. We head to the big Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Pennzoil 250. Stephanie Lee would be the woman to give off the command for the drivers to start their engines. And Chase Elliott has to go to the rear due to a tire rub. Dang it! Anyways, this year's Pennzoil 250 at the Brickyard begins with Sheldon Creed and Carson Kvapil battling for the lead. Mayer takes second, and Creed easily pulls away. Expect this race to have lots and lots of attrition. Kvapil falls back to 6th. So far, not much is going on. Ross Chastain is also making his final O'Reilly Series start of the year at IMS. Some drivers try snaking in an attempt to break off the draft. Yeah, they always try to do that. Justin Allgaier gets to the bumper of Sammy Smith and is trying his best to take 6 from his teammate. Holy crapper! Jeremy Clements is in second. Now that I did not see coming. Creed's lead gap is starting to shrink and Clements might get an underdog finish for the ages if all goes well. And just like that, he takes the lead. Holy crapper! Jeremy Clements is leading! Can you believe that? An underdog in the lead! Justin Allgaier gets past Sammy Smith and is currently running in 7th, but William Sawalich held him off when he attempted to get past him. He gets past Sheldon Creed and he's now in 6th. Just don't let Taylor Gray get past you. Chastain appears in 2nd. Sawalich takes 3rd for Mayer. In a twist of fate, Jeremy Clements wins the first stage of the 2026 Pennzoil 250. But he'll have to deal with Ross Chastain because he wants that win too. But anyways, our first race off pit road begins and the Melon Man himself wins the race off pit road. Not too often when you see Ross Chastain win the race off pit road. Taylor Gray gets penalized for an uncontrolled tire stop. Oh, anyways, the second stage begins with Ross Chastain and William Sawalich battling for the lead. Come on, Chastain, pull away from that guy. Ah, crap, Willie Sawalich got past him. Do not let William Sandwich win the stage. You don't mess with the Melon Men. Yes, Ross Chastain got past him. Well, that's what I'm talking about. He got a push from Sheldon Creed, and you gotta thank Sheldon Creed for pushing the Melon Man to the lead. Now that's what you get for trying to mess with the Melon Man. Allgaier takes 3rd. Here we go. Ross Chastain is currently leading the tray. Day and Jesse Love battle for 12th, and Reslav gets into the wall. Chastain and Creed battle for the lead. Creed tries to get past, but Ross Chastain will do anything to hold him off. Cruz is in 8th and has moved up to 7th. Come on, guys. We want to see the leader. The caution just came out. We didn't even see it. It cut to commercial right when it happened. Man, I always hate it when that happens. Like, there's a caution that comes out and it cuts to commercial. Yeesh. Garrett Smithley loses control and barely escaped getting into the wall. But anyways, nearly every driver comes down the pit road. It's close, but Ross Chastain wins the race off pit road again. He barely beats Sheldon Creed. The race restarts with Roger Carruth and Dean Thompson battling for lead. Allgaier takes 2nd after Ross Chastain got loose when DT held him off. Carruth and Allgaier battle for lead. Chastain takes 3rd and gets past DT, and just like that, Roger Carruth wins the 2nd stage of the 2026 Pennzoil 250. Because nearly the entire field pitted under the caution, only a few drivers come down to pit road. We also get a view of the Kyle Busch-styled number 8 during the broadcast itself, and we get a brief story on Brennan Poole's paint scheme. Yeah, he made that paint scheme to honor Kyle Busch, and that is awesome. The 3rd and final stage begins with Allgaier and Chastain battling for the lead. Chastain takes the lead right when the race goes free wide. Brent Cruz tries his best to fight to the front as he is currently in 13th. Kvapil is in 2nd. Here we go. The battle for the lead ensues, and it gets intense. Allgaier gets past Sheldon Creed for 3rd, and just like that, Carson Kvapil takes the lead. Yes, he might get his first win. But despite this, Ross Chastain is not slowing down. He continues to keep up with him. Allgaier might get close with 10 to go. David Starr goes a lap down and allowed Ross Chastain to get close. Chastain almost took the lead, but Kvapil gets it back, and Allgaier takes 2nd with 6 to go. Carson Kvapil might be on his way to getting his first win in the O'Reilly Series. More lap traffic becomes a factor. Here we go. It's the final lap. And the Junior Motorsports Showdown continues. Allgaier gets the draft, but then he gets tight on the straight. And yeah, you have to keep in mind, it's hard to pass at Indianapolis with the NASCAR racing cars. He gets close on the final two corners, and just like that, Carson Kvapil finally gets his first win. Yes! He got redemption for Taylor Gray taking him out at Coronado. Yay! That is what I wanted to see. Carson Kvapil finally get his first win. The son of Travis Kvapil definitely deserves a win. And that is why this race gets a 9 out of 10. I mean, yeah, sure, not much went on because it's hard to pass at Indianapolis, and Indianapolis was not designed for stock cars, but they still have stock car races there. And it was awesome to see Carson Kvapil in victory lane, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. also, understandably, got emotional over his win. And that, my friend, is why you should always count on Carson Kvapil getting a win, because every Junior Motorsports driver has won except Carson Kvapil until now. But anyways, it is time to sign off. Thank you for watching. Catch you guys next time and peace out. Greetings, NASCAR enjoyers, and we're back at the Brickyard for the second year in a row. Yeah. As if you haven't known already, NASCAR has returned to the Indianapolis Oval and has brought back the Brickyard 400 in 2024, and since then, it's become one of the biggest events of the year, and it's always been a crown jewel event as Indianapolis is one of the oldest tracks to ever be built, although you might debate on the shape, as some people might call it a rectangle and not an oval. Yeah, there's some debate there. I was able to catch up on some of the pre-race stuff, and Mike Verning would be the Grand Marshal to give off the command for the drivers to start their engines. Who? Anyways, this year's Brickyard 400 begins with Carson Hocevar jumping to lead. Come on, man. Don't let him win. Briscoe blocks Buescher and holds on to 13th. AJ Allmendinger is currently running in 9th. So far, not much is going on aside from the Spire 1-2. Here's to hoping that a caution will make things up. We also get Tyler Reddick attempting the fuel-saving strategy that a lot of guys in the NASCAR fanbase seem to hate. Austin Dillon comes down to pit road. Chase Elliott is next to come down to pit road. Ty Dillon is next to come down to pit road, and Chase Briscoe joins in a lap later. Suarez is coming closer to Hocevar. William Byron is next to come down to pit road. Larson is next to come down to pit road. Lap traffic becomes a factor. Gibbs is next to come down to pit road. Carson Hocevar comes down to pit road while Suarez takes the lead. Hamlin and Suarez battle for the lead. Suarez comes down to pit road and was close to getting a speeding penalty as he went in there really fast. Man, that was a close call. Hamlin takes the lead. He is also planning to stay out until the stage ends. Reddick is on his tail. It seems that Denny Hamlin gave up on his strategy as he decided to pit in, and Reddick also joins in alongside him. More drivers then make their pit stops. Heim takes the lead. And Kyle Larson blows the tire, spins out, gets into the wall, and causes the first caution of the day. Man, as if Kyle Larson's luck hasn't already gotten worse as it is. And you have to keep in mind, he had a better strategy going on for him than Denny Hamlin did, and actually pitted in quicker than him and was able to undercut him, but alas, Kyle Larson's not safe from his bad luck this year. Yep, it is what it is. A few drivers come down to pit road during the caution period. Like any other TNT NASCAR broadcast, we get the Where's Mamba segment, and he's playing golf while carrying around junior clubs. Anyways, the race restarts with Gibbs jumping to lead. Heim takes second from Hocevar, and just like that, Ty Gibbs wins the first stage of this year's Brickyard 400. Ah, frick. I want a Corey Heim to win. But anyways, a few drivers come down to pit road. The second stage begins with Ty Gibbs being pushed to lead. McDowell takes second. Can someone please get past him? If there's anything I don't want to see is a race ruined by a Ty Gibbs win. Yeah, it's because I'm a Corey Heim fanatic. That's why I'm not a fan of Ty Gibbs, because Corey Heim. Yeah, he's Ty Gibbs' biggest rival. Chase Elliott scrapes the wall and blows a tire. Dang it! He also broke a toe link. He had to come down to pit road because of this. And he might be out of the race. Not again. Michael McDowell and Corey Heim battle for second. McDowell and Gibbs come down to pit road. Hocevar then comes down to pit road to make his pit stop. Heim takes the lead. Hamlin is next to come down to pit road. Heim manages to hold off Carson Hocevar. Alex Bowman comes down to pit road. Reddick is next to come down to pit road. More drivers then make their pit stops under the green flag. Corey Heim makes his pit stop and John Hunter Nemechek takes the lead. Briscoe is next to come down to pit road. The caution just came out. Daniel Dye spins out and nearly got into the wall. Thankfully, he's safe. Phew. As cleanup took longer than usual, even though only one driver was involved, but there could have been debris on the track though. Ross Chastain was made the winner of stage number 2 of this year's Brickyard 400 as it ended under a caution. Like before, a few drivers come down to pit road. The third and final stage begins with Gibbs being pushed to lead. Hamlin takes second from Corey Heim. Josh Berry and Riley Herbst battle for 21st. Hamlin and Gibbs battle for the lead. Come on, Denny, get past that Nepo baby. Gibbs and Hamlin continue to go at it. Denny Hamlin has the draft. The caution just came out as debris just manifested on the track, or debris if you're a British person, or Englishman. The race restarts with Hamlin and Heim battling for the lead. Logano gets blocked by Heim while the two continue to go at it. The caution just came out. Riley Blaney loses control and crashes into John Hunter Nemechek. The race restarts with Hamlin and Heim continuing to battle for the lead. Heim jumps to the lead, but Hamlin tries taking it back. Even worse is the fact that Joey Logano got past Denny Hamlin. Just don't let him win the race! The last thing I want to see is another exciting race run by Joey Logano, and yeah, don't even get me started on that utter disappointment of a North Wilkesboro race. That's the race I want to forget. Logano is coming closer. Hold him off! Heim continues to lead. As long as if Logano gets held off, I'll be a happy camper. And keep in mind, it's hard to pass on the Indianapolis Oval, even with the well-revered Gen 4 car yet. No generation of NASCAR racing car can make good passes here. Heim is doing a good job at holding off Christopher Bell, and despite making a mistake where he misses the apex, which means that he loses everything, he still manages to hold him off. Now that is impressive. Heim goes high, but he still holds him off. On the final lap, it's now or never. Even with his struggles, it's still Heim time. Once again, this proves that Corey Heim is better than Ty Gibbs. Yep, it's definitely Heim time today. And it just goes to show you that he'll do anything to prove that he is worthy of getting the third seat in 2311 next year. And for that reason alone, it gets a 9 out of 10. Yeah, sure, there wasn't much that went on in the race. Says, NASCAR racing isn't usually that good in Indianapolis no matter which generation of NASCAR racing car it is. But it's still worth it to see Corey Heim in victory lane, and as long as Corey Heim wins, I will be a happy camper. I just don't want to see Ty Gibbs in victory lane. I want to see Corey Heim, the guy who isn't a Nepo baby, and his father sold slot machine monitors and was in the gambling business. Yeah, he wasn't even a race car driver. Yeah, Corey Heim just came there by pure talent. That should show you something. Corey Heim's story of how he got into racing should be made into a documentary, or at least a biopic. Because Corey Heim's story of how he got into NASCAR is definitely one that shouldn't be missed. And it should be made into its own biopic. But anyways, it is time to sign off. Thank you for watching. Catch you guys next time. Peace out.